Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. You know, Easter is just around the corner, and so one of my favorite things that I love to do at Easter is take Easter eggs, this is just a plastic Easter egg, and turn it into little critters, like this little bunny right here. I like to call these Eggberts, and I want to show you how to make one right now. So for this project, I'm going to be using hot glue, but you can use any kind of glue that works for you. You can use glue dots, or you can use like a thick paste. It's whatever works for you. But I'm going to be using hot glue. So remember, adult supervision always. Thank you. All right, so I've got some ribbon here, and I've got two different colors. One I'm going to be using for my little bow tie in my little bunny's hair, and then the other one I'm going to be using for my basket. So in this case, I've got two different colors of ribbon. I've got a little bit of sand. Now this is just to give my egg a little bit of weight so it doesn't tip over. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, or if you want to, you can use rice or little pebbles or little beans, you know, just something to give your egg a little bit of weight so it doesn't tip over. I'm going to be using two bottle caps, two caps from soda bottles. Then I've got some puff balls here. I want to make sure that I have at least 3 puff balls. I'm going to need 2 for the feet and 1 for the tail. The rest are going to become eggs in my basket. So those are not necessary, but these are going to be important, these ones right here. I've got 2 colors of pipe cleaners here, one that matches the color of my egg that I'm going to use, but you can use different color if you want, and then one that's going to be my basket handle. You could use all the same color if you want, but you will need at least 1 pipe cleaner. Then I've got 3 different colors of felt here. Now, you don't need a lot of felt, just about, this is just a square that's maybe 3 inches by 2 inches. Then I've got a little strip of pink that's only about 1 inch by 4 inches. And then I've got this black. Now, to tell you the truth, on the black, all I need is a tiny little bit for the nose. So this could be even just a 1-inch square. So just need a little bit of black felt, pink felt, and white felt. I've got 2 little googly eyes here. And remember, you don't have to use googly eyes. You could always draw yours on with a Sharpie marker, or you could use buttons or whatever you have on hand, beans, whatever, you know, it's up to you. I am going to be using this hot glue on small things, so what I've got here is a toothpick, and I'm going to be using that to help me when I do my close-up gluing. And then I've got my eggs. Now these are big plastic eggs that I was able to get at the dollar store. Some eggs have little holes in them that I have noticed of late. If you have an egg that has holes in it, you may want to just put a little piece of tape. But my eggs right here don't have any holes. But I did notice the other day when I was at the store that they had holes in them. And so you may want to put just a little piece of tape on the inside of your holes. And then I've got some scissors. Okay, and remember the hot glue gun. Now I'm going to be using my yellow egg here. And I'm just going to move all these things off to the side here so I can show you how to make your Eggbert. Okay, first thing first, most importantly, I'm going to pop open my Eggbert, and I'm going to add a little bit of sand here. Now, like I said, this can be whatever you want, that just to add a little bit of weight. Now I've just filled the bottom about halfway. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the hot glue here, just put a little dab here, and a little dab on the other side, there, as you can see. And I'm just going to, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to seal this off. I'm going to catch that little drop of glue by coming up from underneath it, kind of scoop it up, and pop it over. Now remember, I said, see when I squished that down, see how that popped out of there? That bit of glue? I'm going to use this toothpick to just pull it off, so I don't use my fingers. And then I can wipe that on a paper cup or a paper plate or something like that. So okay, I've got that all covered. This is going to be the perfect place to put his little cotton tail, which you'll see in just a second. All right, I'm going to move my little weeble wobbly over. See, he likes to stand now by himself because he's got that sand inside of him, which is great. Okay, I'm going to give him a nice solid base to stand on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the top part of this cap here, this rim, and I'm going to put the glue around the rim. I want to put it all the way around the edge of the rim, like that. And then I'm just going to take my egg and stick it on top. Like that. And now my egg is set to decorate. And I'm going to decorate him with some ears and a tummy and a nose that I make out of felt. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little oval for his tummy. And he's not very big. I'm just going to kind of measure here. He's only going to need a tummy that's about this big. So I'm going to cut this piece of felt. And I'm making this felt into like a 1 by 2 inch square. And I'm just going to fold it in half. And then I'm just going to cut a gentle arc. Kind of like a backwards letter C. And when I open it up, I've got my little tummy. I'm going to trim that little edge there, make that a little rounder. Okay, now I'm going to add the tummy. Remember, I had those 2 bloops. One's going to be where the tail goes. One's going to be where the tummy goes. So see, you won't even see that little bloop. I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to glue it around the edges. Now be very careful when you place this. See, I've left a little bit of the edge there so that my fingers have some place to hold when I put the tummy on. There we go. There's the tummy. Okay, now to make his ears, I'm going to take the pink, I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm just going to cut 2 little ovals at the same time here. Just going to go up and over. They're kind of elongated ovals, like that. And now you'll see that I didn't come all the way around. I left that flat end. And the reason I left that flat end is I'm going to snip it like that, and that gives me the insides of my ears. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white, I'm going to measure here to make sure I've got enough room, and I'm going to fold over. Now I'm going to use this little ear inside as a pattern, and I'm going to cut up and around, giving myself about 1/8 of an inch on the sides here and a little bit more on the top. You know, these are your ears. You can make them any way you want. I'm just using my eye here. I'm coming around. There. And there's my little ears. And whoop, snip those 2 apart. And now I've got 2 ears. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue these little pinks into the ear. And I just can add just a little line of glue right down the middle. Spread it out a little bit. And there we go. Whenever you work with fabric and hot glue, you want to be very, very certain that the hot glue is not seeping through and burning you. Just be very careful about that. There we go. Okay, now those ears are ready to go on. So I'm going to put 1 ear here and 1 ear here. So I'm just going to put a little glue here and a little glue here. And 1 ear, 2 ears. And there's my bunny. He's got his little ears. Now he needs some eyes. So I'm just going to put 2 little bloops. 1 bloop, 2 bloops. And put on my googly eyes. 1 and 2. Now for that little nose. All I need to do is go to the corner of a little square, and I'm just going to cut off a little triangle like that. And this is where you might want to use your toothpick to just kind of place it. There we go. And there's his little nose. Okay, now we need his little paws and his little tail. Whoop. Got a spider web there. Whoop. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bloop of hot glue here, bloop, and a bloop here. And just take 2 of these puff balls, 1 puff ball there, and 1 puff ball there. Now he's got his little feet. And for his little tail, just put a little bloop. Again, remember you can cover up that little spot where you glued the egg shut. There we go. Okay, now you could stop right there if you wanted to, but I'm going to give him some little arms so he can hold the basket. Now he doesn't need really, really long arms. I'm going to say about a thumb's length here. 1, and you want to make them about the same size. 2. Now, to glue this easily to the side, what I like to do is I like to just take this end and kind of twirl it around. So see how I've kind of made it like a little snail shell there? Just on that side, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And that's going to give me a base for my glue, as opposed to just the skinny bit. I'm going to have a little bit more of a base. So I just put a little bit of glue here on one side. And again, this is where you might want to use your popsicle stick, your toothpick. There we go. And let's put it on the other side. Just because, you know, it's very easy for the hot glue to seep through when you're using your fingers. So using this toothpick just protects your fingers. Okay, so there he is. And if you want to, you can fold up those little paws just to make them a little more rounded. Or if you wanted to, you could even add a bead or another puff ball or something like that, but I'm just going to fold those up like that. Now I'm going to make his little hair bow. Now for his hair bow, some people are really good and can tie bows really tight. I need a lot of ribbon just because my fingers are a little old, so I need to just make my bow with a lot of extra ribbon in here, and then I trim it. So I'm going to make my little bow here. I'll show you how you do that. You fold one end over like that so that the 2 ends meet and make like a little loop. Then you wrap this around your thumb, and then when it gets to the other side, you take that loose end and you push it through that loop you just made, and then you just pull. And then you can just tighten it down by pulling on either side until you get a nice little bow. I'm just going to give it a little angle cut on either side, make it pretty. And I'm going to add a little bow right there. Oh, you're looking so pretty, little bunny. Okay, now, last thing, basket. Okay, for the basket, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with this little bit of ribbon. This is my second bottle cap. Just going to add a little bit of glue there and a little bit of glue on the far side, tiny dot in between each one. Place the ribbon on top, again using that toothpick just to get it in place. And all I have to do is wrap that ribbon around until it comes right back. Now, going to need a little bit of glue right here to seal it. And I'm going to snip right there. Oh, looks like I snipped too close. Okay. Let's push that down right there so those ends meet. There we go. Now I should have cut a little extra ribbon, you guys. I cut that a little short. So when you do yours, give yourself a little extra ribbon so it overlaps. I ended up getting just to the end there, which is fine, and it looks okay, but the big thing is it's easier if you can overlap it a little bit. So I made a little mistake. It happens. Okay, now I'm going to make his little handle, and so I'm just going to put the one end in there so it goes all the way to the bottom, and just fold it over, and then I make the basket as long as I want there. I'm going to make my handle, my basket handle, about that long. Just snip it right there. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on one side, a little bit of glue here on the other side. I'm going to fold this to make it into a letter U. See, there's the letter U. And just slide it in on either side. Let that dry. Now, remember those extra puff balls? I'm going to toss those in to become his little eggs. But like I said, you don't have to. If you don't want to, you can have an empty. Or you could even put little flowers in there, whatever you like. And now I just have to put that in his little hand. Or I should say her little hand, because she's got her little bow. And there you go. There's my little bunny. For more great ideas where you can personalize things for yourself, come and check us out at sophie-world.com.